Good afternoon, everyone. So here we are with Sensei Benny. I'm going to surprise him with one more experience that I had with him. I'd like for him to talk to. So I think I mentioned this before. 5 years ago, I had a crazy idea about, sparring 50 people in a ring, and I did it with Sensei Helps. It was wonderful. But I remember out of the, and Sensei was number 50, which was a pleasure and honor. But I remember most people were gracious enough to go through an exhibition with me. It was a nice background. It was not really a fight. It wasn't, And Sensei was gracious enough to work with me, and it was a symbolic thing. It was not a real, thing for me. But anyway, I never forget Sifu Ron Balicki, who is the man. He's one of my teachers, and I highly, highly love that gentleman and respect him to death. And he came out to me, and when he sparred, he just went after me like a pow. And I remember I got some help because of it. People say, "Oh, how is he doing that? This is not the place." But there's a part of me that said, "Oh my God, this is real." And we'll talk about that later. But on video,
Yeah.
I saw your reaction to him was you just took that deep breath, and you came to me, and you were saying, "Oh, what a fresh breath of air," like. And I said, "What, Sensei? What?" He goes, "How I missed this." And I thought to myself, and I'm looking at the videotape, is that you saying you missed this? What? And I think to myself, again, I've never been in a fight in full contact, anything like that, but I remember it for a second. You took this deep breath, like you loved the fact that somebody's worthy, that's going to come after you to hurt you, and you missed that, and you don't have the opportunity you've had all your life. You had those opportunities, but in a way you missed it. So I felt for you for a second that you wanted me to enjoy that, not to look at it as, no, he's not being mean, he's being real. He's the one so forget the 49 round, this is the one, right? And he kicked my ass, and which was wonderful. I want to make sure I say this again. He taught me a lesson I'll never forget, and I appreciate that. And whoever said anything negative about that round, I always tell him, he was the real one, right?
He's definitely blessed you.
Yeah, he blessed me. But in a way, the way your response was that, I missed that. And I'm thinking, on video, I'm watching this going, he misses what? And I'm thinking, yeah, he misses having someone go after him in the ring. Be truthful. Go after him.
Real.
Yeah, right.
Real.
And I wanted you to discuss that. What was that like?
Well, when somebody is out there and you both agree, okay, you knock me out, I knock you out. You hurt me or I hurt you. The point is, it was about a physical game of chess. And for somebody to come out and be real and saying, we both agree, we're in this ring together, and last man standing, and we both trained for this. So when he came, and was aggressive like that, it was like I said, wow, you get a chance to feel
Right.
the real,
Right.
what was real. And he truly did bless you by, not that he was intentionally trying to hurt you, but he was intentionally coming out there. Absolutely. I mean, he was throwing, and at that time, I had a chance to give you a part of me, right, of what it feels like when somebody comes after you.
Right.
It was almost like, yes, this is, because everybody that you were sparring, they were hitting you. They were coming after you, but there was no intention of being hurt at all. Right. But you were going, let me tell you, you were getting hit. Yeah. But Ron came in, right, and he said, this is what it feels like to be in it.
And I want to make sure that says, Sifu, I love you, and I love for you doing that. And
yes,
hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again.
It was perfect.
But again, 5 years later, looking at the tape and looking at your face, like going, I missed that.
Napalm.
Exactly. And it was a moment for me, one of those private victories where I got goosebumps thinking, oh my God, what is that? What was it like to be in the rings with all these different people that you didn't know and they wanted to hurt you?
I was in there with you when Ron picked up the tempo, and I said,
I could have used you.
I was able to participate with your feelings of emotions going on there, and I said, oh, That, you know what? That's really what I missed.
Right.
I missed that type of threat, if you so call, want to call a threat. I missed that because it's real.
It's real.
It's real. And I said, what would you do now? I said, what are you going to do now? Are you going to get on one knee and give up? Are you going to quit? Just almost like when after I saw that, and then it was my turn to work with you. My turn to work with you means, hey, I'm going to pick up the tempo. I'm going to pick up the tempo and let you work. Hey? And you know, my it was not so much to try to do damage to you. My way, what I wanted to do is cover you.
Right.
Hover you like an octopus and hover you and said, this is what it really feels like to be, into it. And when it was over with, hey, you said to me, and you collapsed, and I said, and right away, I zapped you and I said, now turn around and tell them how you feel.
Right.
And you were saying, what? And I just told you, turn around, hey, and tell them, inspire them.
Right.
I just looked at your eyes. I said, now inspire them by what you felt.
Right.
You had a chance to feel all that. I said, inspire them now.
Right.
And you looked at me like you thought I was just going to let you lie down on the mat and take it easy and this and that. I said, no.
Right.
I said, turn around now.
Yes.
And now when it's fresh in you,
Express it.
let them.
Right.
Let them know what it took.
Right. What a wonderful day, and again, I appreciate you doing this. But again, going back to what a great honor it is to share some of these experiences, and I know that most of you guys that are watching those don't have that honor and privilege to be able to be personally with Sensei Benny. But what a privilege it is if you guys ever get a chance to be around and experience what it's like to train with somebody real, because God, I've had the experience with so many people that were not, but it's a breath of fresh air to have someone that with this kind of caliber of teaching ability and competence and character. So anyway, thank you again, Sensei.
My pleasure.